Go live. I think we are live now. Hello, a
We
warm
should be.
welcome. Good morning from Germany, and yeah, good afternoon, dear Jemsen from
from
far away. Let me
from
put you.
Shanghai.
Let me put you on the main screen, Jemsen. Where are you at the moment, and what are you doing?
Oh, yeah. I'm attending a show known as Expose Instrumentation and Environmental Measurement. All right, it's located in Shanghai International Exhibition Center.
Wow. Okay, so you're in
Wow.
Shanghai now.
That's right.
Okay, super. No, it's great that you have the chance to join us here in our webinar, the last episode of our product strategy webinars. And I'm excited to hear about your news and Jemson. But I mean, this show is mainly about the analyzer. Do you also see probe sampling equipment?
Yeah, lots of Chinese make coolers, heated lines, probes as well.
Okay.
They are displaying here.
Okay. So, and they are picking up?
Oh, there's a huge market. I tell you, when I first stepped after the COVID, I was very uncertain what is I'm expecting. But I can tell you, you're going to restart the whole economy. Everything is so positive.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No,
When
but
I'm going to
I think
walk
it's,
into the show, later I'm
yeah.
going to walk into the show, you'll see the crowd.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, we tried this before. Unfortunately, the connection in the show in the hall is a little bit, weaker. So that's the reason. But we're gonna try this later. But James, and I'm super happy to have you here on board. But also Jonas, I'm happy to have
Hi.
you here on board. Actually, one floor. Uh,
Beneath
one
you.
floor down. What I really like, Jonas, is your preparation, what you did for this webinar today, so that we are not only focusing on the PowerPoint slides, but we will have some practical examples. And I think this is always the feedback we get from our sessions, that the people really like to have the practical examples and to see where is the difference in detail, right?
Yes.
But first of all, let's get started. Jose Luis from Dubai already sends us his greetings. So good morning, or even then, good noon or good afternoon to you, Jose. It's
Hi,
great
Jose.
to have you here. And again, everyone who's out there, Robin just said good morning from Frankfurt, and but please leave us your message. Just say hello, and if you have any questions, because today is about process. This is the main focus of the today's session, and I think process. When we have the overview here. In the meantime, Jemson is moving into the show, and maybe will give us some good impressions about the show. ATEX and hazardous areas. That's mainly the point we are going to discuss today. And we will see what is the latest developments, what is the latest solutions, and what is also something you really have to take care of if you're doing this. Hello everyone, and there's a good morning or good afternoon from Jakarta. Great, Andre, to have you on board here.
Absolutely.
Someone from Saudi. So yeah, again, super international. This is nice to see. All right, international is the right word. Jemson is already introduced now at the moment, traveling in Shanghai through the show. Then Jose Luis taking care and being responsible for the area of Middle East. Obviously here Jonas and the sales team responsible for Europe, and our dear colleague Antonio Mena, who is very well serving our customers and the customer needs in South America. So this is our international team, and do not hesitate to reach out to them for any RFQ or for any information you are looking for. Even
Absolutely.
in this very special field, because like I said, this is the third session out of our idea to introduce the basic product line. Remember, more for the CEMS standard systems, the plus product line from PSG, where we have more the individualization possibilities. And today it's getting really rough. So we are talking about process here. And not only ATEX, but in many areas, there's a different technology needed, different requirements. Jemson, maybe from your side on the show, what you see so far in China, most focus CEM or also big focus on process analysis technology? What would you say?
Yeah, I've done. In fact, over in China, they are putting a lot of effort on two measurements. One is the ultra low SO2, and the second big market right now is the SCR, the DeNOx measurement.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So at least I'm happy to hear that actually, Jemson, because both developments reflect into the sample handling system, because both applications you just mentioned, Jemson, are very, very much demanding application for the sample handling system. And again, this where we made a lot of innovations and updated products. I think that's good news for us, and that's good to hear. Yeah. Okay, maybe when we have a look at the PNID, Jemson, I think the difference between a standard, a normal CEM system, continuous emission monitoring system, and the CEM system in ATEX environment is, I would say, some changes, mostly on the process, on the probe sampling solution, but I would say the concept itself is relatively the same. Is that right from your point of view?
Technically, many people perceive as if it is the same, but in reality, in real life, when we talk about design, there are so much things that we can talk about.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I just wanted to say, a CEMS system in ATEX environment has the same concept. We are sucking the gas sample probe, so filtration, for example, is a topic, and this is maybe a change to process analysis technology, to process monitoring, where then we have the situation that maybe there's a positive pressure, so there's no gas sampling pump needed. Maybe there's also not a cooler needed, depending on the analyzer, the analysis technology, right? And this is also something we plan today to have the main focus on, will be the issue or the topic of the heated line. So when we look at this, we have there might be a probe, but the transportation from the probe is always a very essential part, and this is why we decided to have a very special focus on this. Okay, but first things first, let us start really with the gas sampling probe, with the primary sampling point. That means this is the point where we extract the probe from the process, And yeah, I think we said this in other webinars before. Yeah, it's a little bit like in information technology. If you have a problem in the first place by extracting and you can handle, for example, dust, Jemson, like you mentioned, DNOx is a very demanding application for the gas sampling probe. You don't need to deal with this issue in a later stage. So even if Jemson, maybe you can report something of this, you also see some gas sampling probes from China on your exhibition?
Yeah, and in fact, there are many look-alike sample probe in China. So many. It varies from materials, from prices. Well, I know you name it, they have it.
yeah, but lookalike is probably the right word to say. Yeah, because it always depends the detail from the detail, right? And therefore we have a good overview and of the PSG process probes for ATEX solution. So we have one probe for 90 degrees C holding temperature. We have one version of probe for 150 degrees C, and even this depends on when you have a very high acid dew point on 180 degrees C. So Jemson, it's nice to see that you find a place where you can sit, or what are you doing?
I'm actually borrowing a place from one of the a star player of the CEMS supplier, who is beside me, the sales director.
Okay, yeah. Then welcome to our webinar, and yeah,
nice
now
to meet you.
Worldwide on the screen. So yeah, warm welcome here as well. But Jonas, I think you have the PSG process probe in your background. Maybe you can tell a little bit about the housing and the speciality there.
Exactly. This is it, our PSG process probe ATEX. It can be ATEX 150 or ATEX 180 degrees C. It's all in the same housing. As you can see here, these are both heaters. That means this is a 180 degree probe. I put down the insulation so I can show you a little bit better. The 180 degrees and the 150 degrees as well are both self-regulated, and the 90 degrees as well. All our ATEX probes are self-regulated. As you can see here, we have the same system like with our plus probe, just to change the filter, so it's very easy. We have a little bit thicker filter so that the heat dissipation or the heat is better hold. And all of the surfaces you see, even that outer casing is all conductive. So
it's conductive. Okay, that's good to hear. Maybe Jonas, you can check your sound again. You seem to be a little bit yeah, maybe it's just using the microphone from the computer. But okay. I think that is the special message you are giving here. Is we believe that whenever you have to measure in ATEX environment, and sometimes you can discuss, is a big filter like we have them in our sampling probes really needed? Because depending on your application, you might have not so much dust. But I think it's clear, and it's good to say that whenever you are in ATEX environment, you should make sure that you are only sending people to service to service activities when it is really needed. And I think having an ATEX environment for the probe is super important, that you take the biggest filter and maybe you also work with a back purging technology. So in order to avoid that someone really has to go through to the probe and has to change the filter of the probe. So I think in this concept, this is very a very rich technology.
Yes.
Jonas, from a technical side of point of view, also we should mention because there are some technical advantages we have regarding the holding temperature and the limiter, right?
Yes, we have a self-regulating, so it's a complete self-regulated heater, even with the limiter built in, so you don't need an external limiter, which you would usually need in an ATEX environment. So you just can plug in to the power and you're good to go.
Okay, that's good to hear. And I think the special message is we also have this for the 150 and 180 version, right? Because
Exactly.
sometimes, or let's say with other products on the market, it's more complicated. So you might need a temperature controller and a limiter. And this is something you do not need if you decide to choose for our technology. So, Jemison, I think, again, by redesigning this product or developing this product, I think at the end, this is something, it's made in Germany, it's quality made. Of course, it's not the cheapest version in the market, but I think this product really has its place, right?
That's right. Particularly in the terms of ATEX of 150, right? I think many of the industry was surprised that we are able to offer up to 180. This is so unique.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And I must also say, from the development point of view, it was not very easy to achieve that high temperature. But I'm glad and very happy with the development team that we managed to do that. Okay, primary probe sampling. You might be in an ATEX environment. You might need an ATEX probe. Check mark. Heated sample lines. Still one of my favorite products, obviously. I mean, heated sample lines are used in many of these extractive gas sampling situations. And again, we really would like to use this webinar here to, let's say, educate or to tell about the difference. Because from the outside, a heated sample line and another heated sample line most likely will look the same, unless you really see some damages on the jacket, but it looks comparable. But there, from a technical point of view, there's many real difference. So if we take that overview here, I want to say, like the sample handling system itself, what Jemison just said at the beginning, there is not only the one solution, but there is many. We now produce more than 2,500 different types of heated sample lines. And I think even this number is growing, because of the big variety and also the special needs of the sample handling system. But today we really want to focus on the process lines. We mentioned that we have this new match code system. That means everyone can configure its own required heated sample line and its own solution. And what is today really new is, in the past, when we look at ATEX or IECX, most likely just the heater was the interesting point. So everyone was focusing, do you have a certificate for the heater or not? But the ATEX requirement changed. And now it is important that you have to look at all potential risks. And one risk is the electrostatical load, which can happen to a heated sample line. Jemison, I think that, also this is always a very good example to show this development, how it maybe also happened in the past when we look at an analyzer room. I always like this example when we compare, for example, a junction box. Jonas, I think you have you prepared a little showcase to show us the difference for this.
I prepared to use for all of you something. So this would be just a regular junction box you can see here as you would use it in a typical safe area. As you can see on my left-hand side, there is a conductivity meter. And as you can see, it shows pretty much nothing. Would you take or would you use such a junction box in an ATEX area? I wouldn't. So this would be a typical junction box for an ATEX area. And if I now apply this measurement instrument to it, you can have a good view how the needle is moving, so how conductivity is there.
Jemson, can you see it?
Yeah, loud, very clear.
Yeah, super. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And pretty much the same goes for our heated sample lines. Here
So
we have
the idea is, Jonas, I mean, no engineer would ever use. I have a picture here which shows an analyzer house, or an analyzer house, which was produced by us, designed and produced by us. And there, it's just an example, you know, it shows typical junction boxes here. So, and the question you have to ask yourself in this analyzer house, you wouldn't use a non-conductive solution, which has no ATEX certification, but why are you not considering the same technology for the heated sample line? This is the question which needs to be asked. And Jonas, sorry, I interrupted
no problem.
you.
Absolutely no problem. I was just talking about this. This is a usual heated sample line. We can also produce this with a PV. This has a PVC jacket. We can also produce it with an ATEX certified cable. But as you can see here, you see nothing. So there's pretty much no conductivity. But
so like the comparison you did with the first junction box, right? The gray one. Yeah, okay.
This would be our gray junction box over here.
Yeah, for safe area.
Safe area, exactly. But as you can see here, this is one of our PSG ATEX to the power of 3 lines. This means it has a conductive TPU jacket. What you can see also here is that it is a basic PSG flex extruded flex line. So it's a little bit more bendable. And now let me show you what happens if I just apply the current on the outer casing. You can see it's even more than our little black junction box over here. And the same goes up to the caps. So we can take everything here. You can take the caps, we can take something just between, and everywhere we have conductivity.
Okay. Oh yeah, thank you, Jonas, for this very practical showcase. I think it's always great to see. I mean, you cannot manipulate the measurement instrument. At the same time, I think it's also fair to mention in this discussion, if you can ensure, I mean, this is how it was done in the past, if you can ensure that the entire heated sample line is grounded at, for example, the cable tray, and the cable tray itself is also grounded, there would be no issue. I'm always asking the questions whenever I go to the customer or whenever I see something like this in an installation. How would you really manage, or how would you make this possible? That it is always, you know, grounded on the cable tray. I think it's
Exactly.
technically not possible. Jemson, what do you think?
This is something that I think we have to do. A great opportunity for us to show off and educate what is new to the market.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I also think so. We mentioned in our last LinkedIn post, we are now, production phase is over. We delivered the biggest project for a European refinery with this technology. And at the end, you know, when we had the technical discussion, they decided, okay, they want to go for the safe version. They want to have the full ATEX certified version. And
Yes.
I must admit, it was a great effort. It was a great team effort that we could win this job. And I'm also very happy that we won this job because of this technology advantage we have. And this is something I really would like to outline here. Short overview, ATEX lines, extruded ATEX. This is what Jonas said at the beginning. You would have ATEX certification for the heater itself. Yep. Then we have the AX2 line. This comes with a special aluminum foil in order to have conductivity. And then the third version, Jonas, great.
This would be an ATEX 2 line. You can see over here. It just has a regular PVC jacket, or could be TPU, and just exactly beneath it runs a layer of aluminum foil, which is grounded, so that the static electricity which would build up can directly flow against the protective earth.
Super. Okay, and then the third version was what you measured and what, very impressive you showed us there.
This one.
So at the end, I mean, also paper, also the confirmation is important, and we will not only give you the certification for the heated line, but also for the end caps. So it's a complete system you would get.
Which you can cut to length at the place. So the certification includes the cut to length technology just in the place.
Yeah, thank you for adding this. I think it's a big winning point, Jonas. The opportunity to cut this, and also we see from our data that in terms of energy loss, because of the insulation, which is very efficient in this type of technology, it has some advantages. Okay. Oh my God. We are such in a mess with the timing. But anyway, last part is really the part here where we would like to have a look at the cooler and the gas cooler. Jemson, what you just mentioned, the ultra low SO2, this is something which is also, I mean, biggest part here is for the cooler, because the cooler is responsible for an amount of SO2 loss. So you would more or less go into the direction of the PSG Basic or PSG Plus cooler and conditioning system. For process application, we see a little bit another demand. Obviously, when it is process for CEMS, it's again the heat exchanger might also have a very low washout rate. But in many of these measurements, we use another technology. We use Jemson, how you call this heat exchanger? What is how you say it to that?
We used to call this a cyclone, like a typhoon effect. Yeah, the typhoon effect, the cyclone.
Yeah, so we would use this, the tube inside to cool the hot sample gas very efficient, and to make sure that even when we have very high flow rates, because in many of these applications, the time is critical. So we have to make sure that the measurement is very fast. This is something we do with the process heat exchanger. Therefore, it's also important to say, and Jonas, I just came out of our production, and I think it's always a nice feeling to see it's getting installed now in many of our systems. So I think that this is also great to see. Jemson, you remember we launched this cooler on the Achima
Yes.
when we were in Germany. And yeah, now it is already working on site in many installations. I think it's great to see. What we did here is the combination of two worlds, let's say. We combined our before BCR product into the MAK housing, and it also comes with an additional temperature controller and a super efficient and very strong compressor cooling capacity. So that really allows even 500 liters per hour. And everyone who is working in the field of sample handling knows that is a lot of hot gas coming. And yeah, I think we have a drainer down there. It's a very efficient technology. So, but this is only one of our process coolers. I prepared this overview here. So this is, let's say, the newest. I always like when you say that, Jemson, this is the newest kid on the block. Yeah, obviously, we also look into, yeah, I would say unique or not very often available product range of ATEX Zone 2 and even Zone 1 cooler. So whenever you have 1 or 2 gas paths in Zone 2, we would recommend to use the BCR02 with this very special heat exchanger technology. It's, by the way, all third-party certified, even if it's Zone 2. We have the DECRA certification for it. And yeah, when you have two gas path, you could either choose the BCR2 or, depending on your application, you would go for the BCR3 when it's a very, very high humidity and high flow. And then at the end, the BCR05 is our big guy, how we always name him, who is yeah, responsible, who can be used in ATEX Zone 1. Okay.
Exactly.
Wow, guys, that was very fast. I thank you so much for your time, for your preparation. Jonas, thank you for the great preparation you've been doing and live demonstration. And Jemson, with your dear partner.
Yeah, with love from Shanghai.
Yeah, I wish you a very good and very successful show.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we are happy to see you here again very soon. Take good care, guys, and all the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.